Present, ma'am.
Ayush Kumar, Madhu,
Present, ma'am.
Bhargav,
Present, ma'am.
Bhavna,
Yes, ma'am.
Monika,
Present, ma'am.
Somanna,
Yes, ma'am.
Neha,
Present, ma'am.
Chaitra, Chaitra, Charan,
Present, ma'am.
Chetan,
Ma'am.
Chetana,
Yes, ma'am.
Darshini, Varshita,
Present, ma'am.
Deeksha,
Diksha present, ma'am.
Preeti, Shravya,
Present, ma'am.
Diya Shankar,
Present, ma'am.
Durga Prasad,
Present, ma'am.
Gagan,
Present, ma'am.
Gaganashri, Bhavani Shankar,
Present, ma'am.
Shravya,
Present, ma'am.
Gaurav,
Present, ma'am.
Girija, Girija, Disha,
Yes, ma'am.
Harshvardhan, Harshita,
Yes, ma'am.
Harshita R, Hemant, Oman Ahid,
Yes, ma'am.
Ankita,
Present, ma'am.
Harshita Raj,
Present, ma'am.
Jivan,
Yes, ma'am.
Nikhil,
Present, ma'am.
Karthik,
Present, ma'am.
Lakshmi, Pradeep, Shahid Afridi,
Yes, ma'am.
Vinayak,
Yes, ma'am.
okay. Now, yeah, the last class we
Ma'am,
started.
Chaitra
Excuse
present.
me, ma'am.
Who's that?
Ma'am, 23 USN
Ma'am,
present,
Chaitra
ma'am. I
present,
was
ma'am.
unable to unmute, ma'am.
Okay,
I'm 24.
okay,
37.
Ma'am, USN 5.
2, ma'am.
okay,
I'm USN
USN
5.
3.
okay. 3 and 5. Okay, next.
USN
4,
2, ma'am.
41. 37.
Okay,
USN 2, ma'am.
okay.
21, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. The last class, we started with the normal forms, right? That is
Ma'am,
first.
41, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. First, in the last class, we have started with the normal forms, and in that case, we discussed with the first two normal forms. That is first normal form and second normal form. Can you tell me what is first normal form? What is the definition for the first normal form? What is the definition of the first normal form? What is the definition of the first normal form? Can anybody tell me definition of the first normal form? What is the definition of the first normal form?
Should not contain any
And
multiple
every
attributes.
attribute takes single value.
Yes, every attribute should have a single value. If the attribute contains the multiple value, what do we say actually? If it contains the multi-valued attributes, then we say that the table is in normal. It's not in
It
normal.
violates the.
So to make the table to be a normal form, what we have to do is that we have to follow the three methods here. That is, first one, use the multiple tuples. Second one is use the multiple columns, and the third one is separate method. Use separate relation. If we follow the first method, that is use the multiple rows, what will happen actually? Redundancy will be more. So obviously the normalization means that no redundancy. Then if I follow the second method, what will happen actually? The null value will be more here. So the normalization has to what exactly? To avoid the null values. So for that, what we do actually, we separate the relation so that in one relation we make it as a primary key, and in another relation we make it as a foreign key. That is what will happen in case of the first normal form. Second normal form is actually, the second normal form is based on the concepts of the fully functionally dependency. The fully functionally dependency means the non-key attribute, that means the non-prime attribute is fully functionally dependent on what exactly? The dependent on the prime attribute. That is what we call that as in the second normal form. So when we go for the higher normal form, we should follow that, we should think, or we should have the concept in our mind that it should follow, the table should be in what exactly? It should be in one element. At least if you are telling that the table is in 2 elements, means the default what exactly? It should be in what exactly? It should be in the 1 element. So that is what these two topics that what we discussed in the previous class. So now today we move on to what exactly? The next normal form, that is third normal form, which is called as a 3NF. Mainly the 3NF, is this screen is visible now for all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
The 3NF is what? It's based on the concept of transitive dependency. It's based on the concept of what exactly? The transitive dependency. What definition says that? What is the definition of 3NF? The definitions are very important for all the normal form. What the definition says that? The definition says that the relational schema R is in 3NF. If it is in 3NF, that is what I told you. When we go for higher normal form, it should what exactly? It should be in the lower normal form. When we say that the relation is in 3NF, that is it is in third normal form, it should be what exactly? It should be in 3NF. If it is in 3NF and no non-prime attribute of R is transitively dependent on the primary key, that means it is actually, there is no transitive dependency. If there is a transitive dependency, then we say that what exactly? Then we say that we say that the table is not in 3NF. If the table should be in 3NF, then it should not be what is called, there should not be any transitive dependency. What is a transitive dependency? Example, if A derives C and C derives B, then we say that it is then it's equal to A derives B. That is what the transitive dependency. So what is the definition say that? The relational schema R is in 3NF. If it is in 3NF and no non-prime attribute of R is transitively dependent on the primary key. So a relational schema is in 3NF if whenever a non-trivial functional dependency exists, like x dependent A in R, such that when x is a superkey of R and A is a prime attribute of R. This is what exactly mathematical notation. So let us take an example. This is what an example is here. Here in this case, you can see that according to this functional dependency, you can see that B number, address, birthday and employee number is dependent on what exactly? Dependent on the SSN here. Okay, that is, you can see that B number, address, birthday and employee is dependent on what exactly? Dependent on the SSN. At the same time, DNAME and DMGR is dependent on the DNAME. So when you write in the normal notation, what will say that actually? Will be say that SSN, then right arrow mark, D date, address, D number and D name. And again D number, right arrow mark, D name and D address. Here in this case you can see So this table, whether its table is in TNF now according to the definition. Can you tell me anyone whether this table is in TNF? Whether this table is in TNF here? I'm asking you whether this table, what is that? This example, whatever we have here, whether this is in TNF or not. So this table it's not in TNF. Why? Because you can see that D-name, address, birth rate and employee is dependent on SSN. At the same time, D-name and DNGSSR is dependent on D-name. We have to concentrate on only this part here. So only what exactly this D-number part. Here in this case you can see that there is a transitive dependency, right? That means A derives B, A derives C and C derives D. So there is a transitive dependency with respect to the department number. So when there is a transitive dependency, then we say that what exactly the table is not in TNF. That means when we say that the table is in TNF, if there are no transitive dependencies there, then we say that the table is not in the TNF. Then the table is not in TNF, we need to decompose. That means we need to make the table. So when the table it's not in TNF, so we say that the table is not in normalized form. It is in unnormalized form. Then how to transform this unnormalized table into the normalized table is we need to remove the transitive dependency. So when we remove the transitive dependency from the table, then we say that the table is in TNF. When it is in TNF means obviously it should be in what exactly the TNF. But when it is in TNF means obviously it should be in what exactly the 1NF. So how to remove this transitive dependency? To remove this transitive dependency, what we are doing actually, we are splitting the relation here. So we are splitting the relation means when we split the relation, you can see that birthday, address and email is dependent on SSN. That gives the one person dependency. And another one is DNAME and DNGSSN is dependent on what exactly? Dependent on the email. So that means we are now actually we can say that this is in TNF and along with that it is also in what exactly the TNF. TNF means what? Birthday, address, email, these are all